Welcome back to Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement, here with Tony Irwin. He is the president and CEO of the Federation of Rental Housing Providers of Ontario. Tony, we've been talking in the first segment about lack of supply as one of the major issues. So how do we get more supply? I guess that's the question everybody's wondering.
Well, I think for starters, I think we have to acknowledge that rental housing is got to be a key part of the solution. We still have a stigma that many people perpetuate around rental housing and what that means. I think we have to really move past that and acknowledge all housing types are needed. We both are good friends with Tim Hudak, and I talk to Tim regularly. All housing is good housing, but we have to acknowledge that affordability is a significant problem for a lot of people. The world's changed a lot since I bought my first house and you bought yours. So rental has got to be a key part of the solution. And we still, deal with applications that are delayed because of, local groups and opposition. This isn't about not giving them a voice. It's about saying when it takes, years and years to get through a process, and there are local groups who just oppose every project at every turn. And I know there are, sensitivities there, but we have to get on with approving what's needed. And so, increasing density, for rental housing where it makes sense along transit corridors, that's pretty key to me. Giving us the density that's required to make projects pencil against condominium projects that are different economic realities. We need purposeful rental housing to be able to compete, and you do that by providing the density that's required and providing as of right zoning where it makes sense so we can get these projects approved and get shovels in the ground and get keys in hands.
Now, I think what you said is that is part of the discussion now. Are you sensing and are your members sensing a change of attitude? Because, typically over the last few decades, not everybody is in favor of a new apartment building, let's say, in their neighborhood. I think at the same time, now we know that we're in a genuine crisis that's affecting our kids or our grandkids, that kind of thing. What sense are you getting on the ground on this?
I think change is always difficult, right? People are often slow to embrace change. I do think there is an acknowledgement that this is, the rental today is not the rental perhaps of many decades ago. Product is different now. I tour buildings and I'm amazed at what I see. Yes, that's new, and new is often not as affordable for a number of reasons. But of course, that does free up other units for others who have other income situations and circumstances. So I think there is a change, starting to see a change on that. Certainly, governments, when you talk to planners and city staff and elected leaders, they still face all the opposition or certainly they still have those difficult conversations, as you well know. But I think there's a greater acknowledgement that this crisis is severe and it's going to require, I know it's been being said a lot now, kind of a wartime effort, but we do need that. And so I think we're starting to see a change in attitude. But like anything, Tony, it takes time, as you know, and we have to keep at it and continue to demonstrate to people that this is something that people should get behind.
In some of your news releases, I believe you have talked about a more balanced system for rental housing. What does that mean exactly?
Well, I mean, I guess it can mean a few different things. We're talking about supply and the need to build much more of it. And that, of course, gets a lot of attention, as it should. There's also the operating environment. We represent rental housing providers of various sizes and operate in all over the province, many different communities. Some are large, some are medium, some are small. The environment to operate your rental building, certainly, and I'm speaking about the Landlord-Tenant Board, the process for adjudicating disputes, which in any society we know we have. There needs to be a process that's fair, that provides access to justice to both sides, and one that is efficient and timely. And I think you've seen many news reports that, of course, would indicate that's not been the reality for the last many years. That's caused caused considerable anxiety and stress on all sides. But relative to my members, smaller ones especially, who have scrimped and saved a down payment to buy a property, to rent out as part of their kind of retirement plan, if they're facing non-payment of rent for a prolonged period of time without a system to adjudicate that in a timely and fair basis, that becomes a very big problem. And in a time when we need all the housing we can get, we have to have a system that is fair. So again, the Ford government last year made the largest single investment in the landlord tenant board at one time, $6.5 million. That's great. Of course, it takes time for that money to flow and for adjudicators to be hired and trained and hearing cases. But we're starting to see progress, but we need to see much more.
Tony, we're just going to take a brief break for commercials. We'll be back with you after these messages.